Hello everyone, it's Rachel. Welcome to my channel and to today's video, which is another pregnancy update. There are only going to be a couple more of these left before baby comes. We are at 34 weeks now with just 6 weeks left to go, so close to a month. We are full on in baby prep mode, getting everything ready. There's been a lot going on, so a lot to share with you guys. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I said before, I am now 34 weeks pregnant. And as usual, let's read the little description on the Pregnancy Plus app of how baby is developing. Your baby weighs about 5.2 pounds now. From now until birth, your baby will gain approximately 1/2 of a pound per week. A lot of this weight is important brown fat to keep your little one warm for the first few weeks after birth. This brown fat is different from white fat. Brown fat contains more cells that produce body heat, and this, in turn, prevents hypothermia. This brown fat appears on your baby's upper spine, back, and shoulders. So, we have been doing a lot of prepping, getting ready for baby. So for each week in January, I've been assigning that week a task for getting ready for baby. So a couple of vlogs ago, I shared that the first one was cleaning the house. So I worked on appliances, the mirror in the hallway, which hadn't been cleaned in a long time. I also later that week did windows and cleaning like the window thing, the windowsill, the little gutter, I don't know what it's called. Just little house stuff that I wouldn't usually do. Getting that stuff all done out of the way, just a bit of nesting, I guess. The next week was getting all the baby stuff washed and prepped and put away where it's gonna go. That definitely took a little bit of like rearranging in the nursery to be able to fit everything properly. So I had to go out and get some baskets and little containers and stuff, but I think we're pretty much good to go now. I have a couple things I just need to like finalize where they're going, but everything's pretty much figured out and put away. And then for this week, my job is packing hospital bags, doing my postpartum care kit, and just figuring out stuff with Tobias. Because of course, my last pregnancy, I didn't have any other kids. So this time I have to figure out where Tobias is going, who's gonna be watching him, how that's all gonna work, what he'll need, that kind of stuff. That's my job for this week, which is kind of exciting. I really enjoyed packing my hospital bag last time and putting together my postpartum care kit. And then the last week in January is when I'm gonna be doing meal prepping. And I will probably do that into February as well. That was something I so appreciated after Tobias was born, was having all those meals in the freezer. So I didn't have to do like any cooking for about 2 weeks. Plus there were people from our church that brought meals, which was so nice. It was just, that's like a huge help. If you don't have to worry about meals when the baby is born, it's just such a weight off your shoulders and off your mind. You don't have to plan meals, don't have to go grocery shopping. It made life so much easier. So I'm definitely doing that again this time. So we finally found a boy name that we love. I am so glad we found this name. I absolutely adore it. We already had a girl name picked out, as I mentioned before, that we really love. We're just having trouble finding a boy name that just really fit. We found some that like we liked, but there was just something about them I wasn't totally sold on, but this name I totally love. So I did do a baby name video a little while ago about some names that were on our list, not potential names, just names that I liked the sound of or that we had thought a little bit about we might use later, but not for this baby. So I'll leave a link to that down below if you're interested in seeing that video. I had a midwife appointment about a week ago. And at that appointment, I had a couple questions asking about taking red raspberry leaf tea, which I took with my first. She said yes, starting 35 weeks. Talked about tearing because since I had an episiotomy last time and had stitches, I'm a little bit concerned about my chances of tearing again this time because it wasn't terrible, but it was not the best experience. My stitches did end up opening up and I don't know if I got an infection or it was just I was close to getting an infection. I had to go on to antibiotics. They never really clarified whether I actually did or not. But anyways, that just made the recovery a little bit worse. So I'm really hoping to avoid that this time. So I just was asking like, is there any way I can avoid tearing or what can I do to kind of help myself out. And she basically said that my chances of tearing the second time are a lot lower, even though, I mean, last time they cut me, I didn't really tear. I think I might have torn a little bit internally, but most of it was the episiotomy. Because this is my second baby, everything's already stretched, so my chances go way down, which is really nice to hear. And she said just listening to the midwives when it comes to pushing, so when they tell me to stop. The point is to get the baby to come out slowly, because if the baby comes out really fast, that's when you have more chances of tearing. So keep that in mind. She also gave me the results for some blood work I went for a little while ago just to check my iron levels. With my first pregnancy, I was iron deficient, the same in this pregnancy, so I've been on an iron supplement, and they wanted me to get some blood work done just to make sure that the supplement was working. And she said my ferrin levels are going up, my hemoglobin levels are going down. I think that's what she said. She said it's a little hard to explain exactly how that works, with one going up, another one going down. But basically she recommended that I take 2 iron pills every other day and hopefully get that to get back up where it should be. She also went over what to do to deal with Braxton Hicks. A couple weeks ago, I had one night where I was up for like 2 hours in the middle of the night with some intense Braxton Hicks. I've never had Braxton Hicks that intense before. I was getting a lot of achiness in my hips and a bit of that like back labor pain. It wasn't like really painful, but I did have to like breathe through them. It was a bit intense, and I was a little bit scared that something was going on that shouldn't be, but it did settle down eventually. Thankful for that. But she just told me that if I'm dealing with a lot of Braxton Hicks, to slow down, lay down for a little bit, get some rest, to take a warm shower, to make sure I am staying hydrated, because dehydration can cause Braxton Hicks. She also, of course, checked the baby's heartbeat. I think it was a little over 150, she said was good. Heartbeat was a little bit faster than usual, also because the baby was like moving around a lot. So it was a little higher than it probably would have been if the baby had been still. She also checked for the head. It took her a little while to find it. She was like feeling around and she couldn't quite find it. So she got this little ultrasound machine, and the baby was moving and like she still couldn't find it. But then she checked again after the ultrasound, just feeling around, and she found it. And it's just, the head is low, which is good. That's what I want. So yeah, the head is down now. We're in a good position. Everything's looking good. I also had another ultrasound appointment recently. It's just to check the baby's growth, make sure there aren't any concerns or anything. And I haven't heard back from them yet. They're gonna call me soon about that, but probably by the time this video goes out, I will have heard. I got to see baby again, which is really cool because I've never had an ultrasound this far along in my pregnancy. So I got to see like the baby's face with its facial features, like the eyes, the nose, the mouth. I saw like the whole spine, the heart, the bladder. You got to kind of see the whole thing. So now on to my symptoms. Some of the symptoms I've been having as we get closer to my due date. The symptoms have definitely ramped up a little bit, and I am having more. So I'm still having the leg and foot cramps. Those are still a thing. I feel like I'm getting them less in the middle of the night, and now more like I find like if I'm reaching up to get something and I have to like stand on my tiptoes, I will get a foot cramp, which is really annoying. I've also still been dealing with the stuffed nose, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna change until after the baby's born. I have been feeling a bit more tired, as I said last time. I used to be able to get up at 5:56 in the morning and just get some stuff done before Tobias woke up. But now I find like I do not have energy if I get up before 7. 7 o'clock I find is like a good time where I can last throughout the day on the energy. But if I get up earlier than that, I just kind of crash in the afternoon and I just can't make it through the day. My belly has also been getting a lot more sore. As baby grows, it's pushing more on my uterus, and there's a lot more pressure as baby goes down and gets ready for birth. So things are not as comfortable as they used to be. It's not terrible, I'm managing, but definitely getting into the stage where I am a lot more uncomfortable than I used to be. I'm also finding that if I am not eating enough or if I'm getting hungry, it's been a while since I've eaten, I get a bit nauseous. This is something I don't remember experiencing with Tobias. I don't know if that was just because I stayed on top of snacking regularly throughout the day. I'm not sure, but there are just times of the day where like it's been a little while since a meal and I just start to feel a bit queasy and sick. And I know like, okay, it's probably time to go have a snack now. I've also started getting nerve pain in my right leg. I don't know if it's sciatica or not. This is something I did experience with Tobias. It's a little bit different this time though, because the baby is sitting differently than when Tobias was. It's still like kind of the same thing, it's just in a different area. I tend to get it more on the inside of my leg instead of the outside, whereas with Tobias, it was on the outside of my leg. It hasn't been too bad yet. I know with Tobias, it got really annoying, like close to the due date, just a couple weeks, like I think like around 2 weeks before he was born was when it really started to ramp up and get more annoying. But right now it's just kind of like popping in there that it's there, it's come, but it's not too bad yet. I've noticed that I have not gained as much weight in this pregnancy as my last one. At least like looking back at my pregnancy updates and pictures and stuff from when I was pregnant with Tobias, I definitely gained weight. Like I noticed my face is a little bit chubbier when I was pregnant with him. I definitely have gained weight on like, I think like the sides of my belly. I've got a little bit of chunkiness there. My thighs and my butt have gained some weight, but the rest of me hasn't. Whereas I feel like I was just overall a little bit chubbier with Tobias. But when I was pregnant with him, I was not chasing around a toddler all day. So that is probably why I'm definitely more active than I was in my first pregnancy. Even though I was very consistent with going out for walks and stuff, I wasn't, running around, dealing with a toddler, picking up a toddler all day, just different. So I haven't gained weight the same as I did before. As I mentioned earlier, I've also been experiencing some Braxton Hicks. Not very much. It was mostly that one night. I've had like a couple here and there before and since, but not a lot. It'll just be like 1 or 2 and then it's gone. And it's not that often. So maybe as I get closer, I know with Tobias, I did start getting a lot more Braxton Hicks 2 weeks to a week before he was born. So probably closer, I will start getting them more, but I've had a couple, but not a lot yet. And I think that is everything except to show you my belly, how I am looking at 34 weeks. So we'll go and do that quickly now before we wrap things up. Alrighty, so this is how we are for 34 weeks. I'm not sure, there's a chance I might get a little bit bigger in this pregnancy than I did in my first, but yeah, I don't know. So at my ultrasound appointment, he showed me kind of how baby's sitting. Baby is on this side. My babies don't tend to hang out here. Both my babies like to sit on this side, which is totally fine with me. So baby is sitting head down with their head here. Their spine is up here with their butt up here. And their arms and legs in this area. So this is where I get a lot of like the kicks and stuff. A little bit in this area. And sometimes I'll feel some motion down here, but yeah, it's all kind of in this general area. So yeah, that is how we are at 34 weeks, baby number 2. And that is everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here supporting me through this pregnancy. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing these videos, following along, and I look forward to doing just a couple more before baby comes. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for future videos, the last couple pregnancy updates, and also my birth vlog / birth story once baby comes. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!